Welcome to Northwynd 2, Episode 4. In this episode, I'm going to be doing Dr. Rushmore's Mansion Challenge Behind the Door, and I am level 4. Unfortunately, I had accidentally deleted a separately recorded introduction for that video that I did at the time. So now I'm doing an introduction in real time, so I won't be able to go over the gear that I was using at the time. There really isn't going to be much difference between the stuff that I showed in the level 3 video and the stuff that I'll show in the level 5 video. I did notice one piece of gear that I was using though when I was editing this video, and that is Fur's hide, which comes from the named Warg in Garrison's Missing Pack. And if you're a Lobby tune that doesn't have a lot of resources, that can be a nice source of damage reduction. It has Axe Blocks 2 on it, and it has no minimum level. So if you're not able to craft like an invulnerability item, which would be ideal for Lobies, then something like that is not a bad option. I'm doing this challenge because once I got to level 4, it was my top priority to acquire the Braces of Wind and the Cloak of Flames. The Braces of Wind I highly recommend. It's a great item for a Druid. One, because it covers your electric spell power and your lightning lore, which is perfect for your Call Lightning, which you want to be as strong as possible at this level range. It is a very powerful spell, and the harder it hits, the better. In addition to that, it also has Blurry, and a Druid can't cast Blur, and this is literally the lowest level Blur item in the game. So really awesome. That's 20% mischance and is a very important part of being survivable. It's a very important layer of defense. You can get all the ingredients you need to craft the bracers from Circles of Power challenge in the lava caves. Now, during the Northwynd 1 series, I did a video of Circles of Power. I'm going to put a link in the video description here if you want to watch that one and see how you can solo it. If you're not very familiar with the challenges, that will be helpful to you. I also have another video that talks about how and shows how to 6-star a different one of the Dr. Rushmore's Mansion Challenge picture portals. I'll put a link in the video description for that one as well. And then another challenge in the Extraplanar Palace. I think it was Buying Time that I did a video for. I'll put link to there as well. I know that there's just if you haven't been playing this game a long time, I know that it's sort of a lot of newer players just don't know these challenges and are kind of intimidated by going in there and trying to figure them out. So those resources are there for you. And Dr. Rushmore's is needed, the one that I'm doing here behind the door is needed for antique coins, which is needed for the Cloak of Flames, which is an item that I like. Is not as clutch as the Braces of Wind, but the Cloak of Flames is a nice convenient source of fire spell power and fire lore. It also has, both of them have many more goodies as you get the higher level versions. Now, if this was my home server and I knew that I was going to be doing multiple lives on this tune, I would want to have every level version of those set aside and every level version maxed out to their highest tiers. You can upgrade them to higher tiers and have like slots, for example, and the stats get better. The level 3 versions you can't upgrade, but the higher level versions you can. I am not on my home server here, so in last life on Northwynd, I just upgraded them to the next levels as I was getting there. So you have the level 3 version. Once you get to level 7, you can just pay some extra ingredients and convert the level 3 to the level 7. Then once you get to level 11, you can convert the level 7 to level 11 version, and so on and so forth. So I didn't have the level 3 versions of these left over from last life because I had upgraded them to the higher level versions. I would have liked to have both of these at level 3. Unfortunately, the challenges needed to do them are minimum level 4, so I couldn't do them until now. I do want to thank a couple channel viewers here on Caneth for letting me use their ships, their buffs, and their guilds as a staging platform for this project. Having access to those ship buffs is huge, and especially like those cargo buffs, getting those 30 resistances during lobby levels is just giant. So really appreciate those. I was in one guild, and actually going to be moving to another guild now, which has more amenities for me to work with, which I think will be a better staging area for the project. So thank you, Warcane, for letting me into your guild for the project. And let's get right on to Dr. Rushmore's mansion behind the door. Alright, this is actually my third attempt at this one. And the first attempt, I probably only made it about halfway through. I got completion, but I really wanted to get a video of getting at least further, if not, potentially all of the objectives done. And then the second time I tried it, I wasn't even able to get a crest to open the first door. I got a bunch of crests, but it was, a bunch of the same ones. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes it's luck of the draw. You're collecting crests by killing mobs, by breaking breakables, and sometimes you just don't get a good selection of crests. And so right away I just had to restart that one. Couldn't get past the first door. So when you're breaking stuff, sometimes crests will appear right in your inventory, and sometimes they'll drop to the ground. So you want to make sure you look on the ground like there. Now you can see I've set up at the bottom a hotbar with all the crests in it, and that's a nice way to just see which crests you have at a glance instead of looking around your inventory for them. And there are various power-ups that will drop. I think like you double speed and quad damage, and the high jump one is kind of irritating because I think it actually makes it harder to get around in here. Sometimes when you're jumping around, if you jump super high, and it just makes things more difficult. But in this case, the high jump helps me do that. So in this first area, you're just a bunch of breakables, a few mobs. Invincibility. And you're just collecting your initial stash of crests.
High jump.
High jump again.
Life aura.
When you walk by these pictures of the Warforged with the gem atop it, those will spawn mobs. If you walk wide of those, you can avoid spawning the mobs. In some of the versions, there are 3 different versions of Dr. Rushmore's. They have slightly different objectives, and at least one of the objectives is to activate all the pictures. And you want to make sure that you look at what your objectives are, and you can do that before you step in, or you can always do it here by hitting the XP button. So here I've got to defeat at least one of the bosses to get completion, and then the other objectives are open all the sealed gates, defeat the other bosses, defeat the mother of the nest, and open 3 bubbles in the observatory. So that's the first area, and got 3 of the crests. Let's hope that I got the one I need. I did this time. So it is a race, you get to the gates and you open them, and it's like a checkpoint, and you get an extended time.
Hate magnet.
You don't want to spend a lot of time killing mobs, but you don't want to just run by all the mobs either, because it's easy to get a red dungeon alert in this one, especially if you're doing it with a group and you're splitting up, and if everybody's just running by the mobs and not killing them, then that can make things even tougher. But it's really kind of about managing the dungeon alert. But killing mobs is good too, as long as you're not spending time doing it, because like I said, you get crests. You can get crests from killing mobs.
Invincibility.
So in this one, all the bosses will be in a certain location. They all have, a place that that they spawn in and they stay there. But like in the one that's called moving targets, the bosses actually move around the house. And a DM voice, or you'll hear their voices. Sometimes there are crests right here on that pedestal, and sometimes there are crests like over there at that pedestal. And I don't know if I can jump over there. Oh, I did. Cool. You'll hear their voices though, saying, like, Ugg the Assertive says, "Oh, I gotta go use the bathroom." He's in the bathroom. Etc. You want to look around here. There's a few breakables, maybe some crests around, like I just found. And there's usually crests up here. There's one there. I don't see any more on this level, so I'm going to jump over to the top level. And there's a crest. Looks like I have all 6, at least one of all 6. That's good. Good place to be at this point, but like I said, sometimes you just get bad luck. There's not a whole lot you can do. If you do get stuck, you can take a minute or two to kill some mobs. Sometimes you get lucky and, killing a mob will give you the crest you need, but sometimes you just, gotta start over. So this is the first point in which you gotta make a choice. You can go that way or this way, and I'm gonna start by going this way. We're going to be coming back, but this is the first split. So if you were with a group, you could send people the other way. There's a crest. There's a picture. We don't need to worry about activating that. That's not an objective in this one. Some breakables up here. In moving targets, this can be the location. This is the library. This can be the location of the bosses. I haven't posted a video on my YouTube channel in a week. This video probably won't be posted for a few weeks, but I have been making videos. It's just they've been part of this series, and the videos are slowing down on the YouTube channel overall, but on the channel, but overall the videos are actually coming faster because I'm posting on my Twitch channel. I'm live streaming nearly every day. If you enjoy watching my videos, and I haven't posted one in a while, you can always jump over to the Twitch channel and watch one of the live streams. They are archived for 2 weeks. So here's another split. And I'm going to use my little detect secret door clicky. You want to make sure you have a detect secret door, a way to detect secret doors when you come in here because of stuff like that. There are going to be a few spots where you're going to need it, and down here is where the mother of the nest is located. A named spider. Some rats. there she is. And that just will go up to a different area. I think you can go out that way. But I'm going to double back. And I'm going to use that shrine in the bathhouse. And then the bathhouse has two different ways you can go aside from down here. Six minutes. And shrine. Scorpion, wolf, and snake. I got at least one of each of all those. And if you ever, if you put the crests in and then you realize you didn't have all of what you needed, you can take them back out. As long as they're not all complete and, once they're all in, the door's open, you can't take them out at that point. If you have a way to open doors, lock picking or knock or something, you can get some extra crests in there. It's breakables, so it's really nice to get, but I'm gonna have to forego those. There's a crest in there taunting me. These traps are not as scary as they look. If you have a good jump, you can jump up there and get that crest, but I don't at level 4. Got some breakables up here. And now we go out to the canal. There's usually some crests in the water, usually 2 or 3 of them. There's 1, and 2 and 3. And now we're going to get to the first boss, which is Smiling Sam the Assassin, or something like that. Perfect. Smiling Sam, Sassy Assassin. And we're just going to go ahead and attack him. Good night, Sam. And you can use detect secret doors here. And I think there are always going to be 2 crests here. Thank you. So Smiling Sam the Assassin will always be there in this version of Rushmore's, but in moving targets he may be elsewhere. Crest, thank you. Another trapped hallway here. Traps don't spawn until you start putting the crests in, so make sure you got the ones that you need before you start popping them in. If you don't have all of them, then don't bother putting them in. Bat, wolf, wolf, scorpion. Got all that. Once you start, that's when those traps pop, so be quick about it. Here, your girlfriend healer is going to be always here in this version of Rushmore's. And there she goes. And she is no more. Now if we go straight ahead, that leads to another area of the house, but the way to open that door is actually on the other side. So we're going to have to come through here and just jump through the traps. Like I said, they're not as scary as they look. If you're super duper squishy, they might be, but we're going to be okay. And now we're going to go back through the bathhouse to the other way. I think these traps are disableable. It's been so long I can't remember. Every time you open a door, you get 2 minutes of time added. Here's the observatory, and one of the objectives here was to open up at least 3 of the bubbles. So let's see if we can make that happen. And these are the bubbles down here. They have crests in them. Some of them do anyways. And there's one. And 2. Doing these ones are kind of tricky. You have to jump and hit it at the top of your jump. Let's see. Can we do this? Yeah, by doing it this way. Alright, that's 3. That's that's the star objective. So I'm not going to spend any more time here trying to get these things going. Let's go here. Let's get this one open just to make sure we can go this way. And then I'm going to open up this door here just to get the time. This goes, that's where the girlfriend healer was, so we don't need to go through that way. Oh, I don't have the crest. That's a snake. Is there a snake here that maybe I could open? Yes. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if we can make this happen without spending too much time. Sometimes this puzzle gets the better of me. Looking for a way to direct that light to where I want to be. And that should do it, because we'll just change the direction of the starting light. And that should open up the snake. Thank you. Oh, I needed another snake. Oh, forget it. I'll have to come back to it. Unless there's another snake here. What's that? Wolf and octopus. Alright, let's go this way. We'll come back. This door opens from the other way. So we're not going to be able to go that way now. This is the war room, or the map room, or war room. And this is where Ugly Assertive will always be, here in this iteration of Rushmore's. $5.22. I don't want to spend any more time getting those.
Invisibility.
'Freezer down here. Bunch of stuff to break. Water elemental. .340. Pressure's on. And that door opens from the other way, so we gotta go way back around. And we're running out of time. See if we can pull it off. Can get the girlfriend healer door open now, though, that one there. So that's a couple more minutes. I've got the crest that I need. Or, that one, actually. Oh, let's go ahead and go back this way. What the hell? Okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea. That's okay, we're not worried worried about these traps, are we? If I had D-Door, it might even be faster to D-Door back to the start from where I was, but obviously at level 4, and obviously being a Druid, that's not an option. But if you're doing a higher level. So we did both ways in the bathhouse. So now I want to go that other way at that first split that I mentioned. Two and a half minutes. Can he do it? So here we are. Get another door open here. That'll give us 2 more minutes. Thank you. Oh, I wish I had Ice Storm. So I could chew up all those mobs, but I don't. Down here's the bathroom. In moving targets, this is one location that bosses can appear in. But we're not going to find anybody in here, but a couple breakables. And if you need to use the bathroom, you know. Golden urinals. Because, you know.
Invisibility.
Okay, where are we? Let's see. Here we've got 2 more doors we can open. Ooh, I need a shrine in a bad way. Sometimes crests there, and crests up top too. I'm starting to run out of time here, so let's we don't need to open that door right now. We'll come back to it after we finish Easy Street or whatever this place is over here. Happy Street. Oh, we're not at Happy Street yet. Sometimes a crest in the fountain. Alright, here we go. Pleasant Street. I knew it was something like that. And Crystal the Giant is down there. But I think I'm going to get Crystal on the way out. Maybe some crests on the rooftop. I guess this one will have to do. I don't know if I can get up there to get that other one. That's okay. I'm going to find a way to live my life without it. There's a gate back there too that I'll want to open, but because I can go over top of it, I wanted to do that and save those crests for later. Or save the crest for use now, and then, you know, if I have extra crests later, that's when I'll, you know, open those other doors. And I'll show you which gate I'm referring to when I get out of this place. Crest of the Wolf. Behind a secret door from another location. Actually, I'm not even sure. Maybe I could have searched it out from this side. I'm not sure about that. Tenements. This is the part where, you know, I've often gotten up here and just, you know, just run out of crests. And it's get real tight, especially if, you know, you opened a bunch of extra gates up at this point. And here's Dr. Rushmore. Oh crap. And I came in here without any mana. That maybe wasn't smart. Freaking crap. Nothing up here. Been a while. Shrine up here. Thank you, needed that. Two minutes. One boss left, Crystal the Giant. 4 gates left. And I am real slim on 3 of the crests. Whew. And now I'm out of one of them. That sucks. Octopus. Breakables. Let's go kill Crystal the Giant. Who, despite the name, is not actually a giant. Crystal is a kobold. Who can be a pain in the butt to kill. But not this time. Not at level 4. So here's the gate that, when we went on top of the roof, we were able to bypass this gate, which I would recommend that you do. I don't have the crest, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get a total completion. So looks like we're going to have to forego getting all the gates open, but we got 4 of the stars. Like I said, if you get stuck, you can always activate these and hope you get lucky and get the crest you need. Usually crests in here, but I am running out of time. So that's just not going to happen. Inventory slots are full. What? Oh, I have a skeleton key now. Oh, I'm still full. I don't want to get rid of any of that stuff, but do we have time to try to run back? 30 seconds? It doesn't look like it. And even if I get there, it's only going to buy 2 more minutes. Skeleton's key is nice because, it acts as any crest. Let's see. Nope. Alright, well, even with not getting all of the objectives, we missed 3 of the gates. This one, the girlfriend one, and then maybe another one that way I was going. In any event, even with just getting the 4, I've got 758 antique coins. I think I now have enough to get my cloak. Let's see. Come over here. Flames. Yep. Thank you. So it's got combustion and fire lore and heighten awareness 1 that adds to my AC. As a tanky toon, I appreciate every little added bit of defense, so AC is important to me. And I'll just be upgrading this and the Braces of Wind as I level up. As I said before, if this was my home server and was more serious about this toon, I was going to do multiple lives, I would want to have every one of those level items and to their maximum tier, although these low level versions are not upgradable. You can tell just by putting them in there. It doesn't even want it. There are no upgrades. See if you type in the cloak, it's just that's it, just the level 3 version. But if you go for the higher level versions, to put cloak in here again, you can see that you have multiple tiers. So when I get to level 7 or whatever it is, then I'm going to want to collect these ingredients so I can upgrade this one to the level 7 version. It says level 8. It used to be level 8, but they changed that some years ago. And it will have higher combustion fire lore, and the higher level versions will even have more goodies on it. So that's that. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you have any questions about my build, you can respond to my build post in the Druid forum. And every episode of this series will have my build post linked in the video description.